funny thing happened to me today in the swimming pool.
From the Mirrorball Studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
Welcome along, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me as always 3 times a week. This is United Kingdom Talk with myself, Chris Reardon. And in the swimming pool today, a very strange thing happened. There I am, as always, you know, in the tiniest pair of Speedos. I mean, if you can imagine that, that's bad enough, isn't it? Imagining me in a pair of small swimming trunks. There I am, going up and down, doing my lengths, minding my own business, and 2 things happened in the swimming pool today. Now, the thing is, do I tell you now, or shall I sort of wait until a bit later on to sort of build the programme into this crescendo of excitement? The problem is, you see, if I don't tell you now, and then I promise to tell you later on, sometimes I forget, you know that. I'm not sure what to do now. Should I tell you now? Shall I tell you the first part of it now? Or shall I just tell you all of it now? What do you mean, get on with it? This is it, dear. There isn't any more. This is it. I've told you before, it's all very well listening and looking and saying, get on with it. This is it. I mean, I don't know what you expect. What do you expect? Okay, I'll tell you the first part. So I'm going up and down, and like the lane I was in, okay, the swimming lane I was in, there are, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 6 lanes altogether. The swimming pool I go to, it's a bit posh. Okay, it's a bit posh where I go to the swimming pool. I mean, it should be for the money that I've just spent. God, £707 for the year, dear. How much is that a month? Just a minute. Calculator. £707. We did work this out the other day, didn't we? £707 divided by 12 is £58.91. Divide that by 12. Oh, no. Sorry, no. £707 divide by weeks of the year, which is 52. Well, it's only £13 a week. It's not too bad, is it? And if I was to go every day, so divide that by 5, £2.70. Oh, I can't moan. You can't moan for that, can you? I mean, people spend a lot more of that than cigarettes, dear. And there I am, trying to keep myself fit and reasonable looking, just for you. I don't do it for myself, I'm doing it for you. Anyway, so I'm in the swimming pool, quite nice. There's 6 lanes, and it doesn't get that busy, to be honest. It usually doesn't get that busy. Now and again, you might have to share a lane with someone. Now, I do have methods in which I try to use to stop people getting into the lane. For example, now, listen to this one. So you're swimming in your lane, right? There's no one in there, just you in the lane. Oh, it's marvellous. All that space. I mean, you can stretch right out. A little bit like being in a double bed. You know, I've got a double bed here. Sadly, no one else in it other than myself and 2 teddy bears. Even the cats are not allowed to come up. I mean, I did try once. You may remember, a few weeks ago, one of the cats got into the house. Yes. Well, I mean, they do live in the kitchen now. They've moved into the kitchen now. But they don't come into the main part of the house. Why is that? Is that because I'm nasty and I'm really horrible and I want them to be cold? No, it isn't. It's because asthma. Okay? Oh, I wish I hadn't done that now. So I get a bit of asthma, so not really allowed in the house. But a while ago, Katie, she's the younger one, about 8 or 9 years old. Well, I know that's not particularly young for a cat, but the other one's over 20, so she is young in comparison to Tiny. And she got into the house and she came up the stairs and jumped on the bed. And I thought, okay, fair enough, you know. And it was quite late. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't know how she got in. She does seem to have learnt to open the door in the kitchen. How clever's that? Anyway, so she came up the stairs and she jumped onto the bed. And I thought, okay, well, you sleep there. Oh, she wouldn't sit still. She was walking up and I was laying there and she was walking up and down me. And then she come to my head and was rubbing her face on my head and all this business. It was all very pleasant, but I couldn't get to sleep because she wouldn't keep still. So I had to take her back down and put her back in the kitchen. Yes, it's true. Now, so that's that. Now, let me think now. Where are we going? Oh, yes, that's it. We're talking about the swimming pool, the posh pussy swimming pool that I belong to, yeah. So I'm going up and down in this swimming pool. And people, I notice, when you notice someone, they usually, if all the lanes are full up, you see, with people, then the next person will come in and you watch them, and then they walk along the lanes to see which one that they want to go in. Well, as soon as I notice this, I start splashing. I start kicking my legs really hard in the thought in my mind that they're not going to want to swim behind someone who's splashing a lot. So they usually go in the one next to me. That's fair enough. You don't want people in your lanes, do you? I mean, I don't mind sharing. I honestly don't mind sharing things, but not my swimming lane. I'm sorry, you get in the way. And that's it. So there is a method. I wonder, do we have any other swimmers listening to the show today? If so, does it annoy you when people get in your lane? And the other thing is, like, I know quite a lot of people in the sports centre now because I've been going there a few years. And they like to talk to you. And I like to talk to them. I love talking to people, but not while I'm swimming. And you see, you get someone that you know who jumps in the same lane as you, and they think halfway down you're going to stop and start having a conversation. Well, I'm sorry, it's not on. I've got to do my swimming, dear. I cannot be interrupted during my tasks. And that's it. So please, if you know me and you ever bump into me in a swimming pool somewhere, please do not jump into my lane because I need to complete my tasks. After 54 lengths, I'm quite happy to stop, possibly sit in a jacuzzi with you, because we got jacuzzi as well. It's all there, dear. Jacuzzis, steam rooms. Although I'm not too keen on jacuzzis. I just feel it's like this bubbling mass of bacteria in a big bowl. I mean, they can't be very hygienic, can they? Well, number one, they're not cold, so presumably the bacteria breeds in these things. And number two, they're not so hot that you can't get in, so it's obviously not killing the bacteria. Now, people say they put chlorine and all this other stuff in. I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I mean, you can imagine sitting in one of those jacuzzis and things floating, can't you? Oh, vile. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's bad enough in the swimming pool. You get, you're swimming up and down, and suddenly, as you're breathing, you get a mouthful of someone's plaster that's come off their leg or something. Or a verruca that's floating past. Oh, how awful! They're not clean places at all. And I don't care what the swimming pool people say. If any of them email into the show and tell us how clean their blooming pools are. Listen, mate, the doctor told me, whenever you've got a nasty cut, do not go swimming. He told me they were dirty, filthy places. I mean, we all know that, don't we? Out of all those people that jump in the pool, do you really think that none of them, shall we say, do anything while they're in there? You know what I'm saying? They don't all get out to go to the toilet like me, good little boy. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Anyway, we must get to the story. So there I am swimming up and down in one of my lanes. No one else had jumped in that particular lane that day. And, when you get to the end, you sort of push off on the wall, don't you, with your foot. And unfortunately, the lane I was in, they have those underwater lights. Now, correct me, I've never quite understood what those lights are for. You know the lights that they have underneath the water in the side of the wall in swimming pools? What are they for? They don't do anything, do they? It just seemed a bit of a waste of electricity to me. In this particular lane, the light is right where you kick off. So, as always, I kicked off and my foot went in a hole. So I stopped. I stopped my legs and I thought, I must investigate this. And I looked around and as I walked back towards it, I kicked something in the pool. Can you believe the light that was in the sun, it had actually fallen off? I was floating on a pair of wires in the swimming pool. I mean, I could have been electrocuted or anything, dear. Health and safety comes to mind here. I may have to make an anonymous phone call. You know, the sort of thing. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'd like to report, yes. Yes, and well, the name is, yes, and the address is, yes, yeah. Sorry? What's my name? And this is the best way to deal with it, right? And what's my name? And sorry, did you say what's my name and address? Oh, if it's okay with you, I'd rather not give that. I'd like to remain anonymous. Oh, thank you very much. Goodbye. Usually when you ring these people, you can remain anonymous. You know, anything at all. Whether you're reporting someone for, I don't know, benefits or health and safety or anything like that, or the tax office, whatever. If you ever want to report someone, it's marvellous, dear, marvellous. You just pick up the phone and say, would you like to leave your name and address? No, thank you. Oh, thank you very much for the information, sir. Actually, I report so many people now, to be honest with you. I mean, they seem to know my voice. They say, oh, thanks a lot. By the way, you know, I've never had, thanks a lot. Oh, by the way, are you that bloke that hosts United Kingdom Talk? I mean, I hope that'll happen one day. I'm kind of hoping with the YouTube videos that I might be out somewhere and say, oh, I've seen you on YouTube. How exciting would that be? Well, depending on the place, of course. I mean, some of the dreadful places I go to, I do hope I'm not recognised in there. Anyway, back to the story. So there is, this light is hanging out in the swimming pool on 2 wires. Incidentally, it wasn't on, although all the others, I looked around the pool and all the others were illuminated. They seem to be on all the time, those lights. Damn waste of electricity, if you ask me, especially during the daytime. So I picked it up and put it on the side of the pool, and I thought, well, I must report that when I leave the swimming pool later on. And as I picked it out of the water, I noticed there was blue tack on the side of the light. I thought, my God, surely they haven't stuck this in with a bit of blue tack. For God's sake. I mean, I've heard of bad workmen before, but that's taking the biscuit, isn't it? It really is. So I gently positioned the lamp up there, and then I carried on with my swim, and then I reported it as I left. But before I left, now here's the other thing. Before I left, I'm continuing doing my swimming up and down, and when I do my swimming, I do it for my benefit, not anyone else's. And we all swim in a different way. There is the correct way to swim, and there is your way to swim, and there is my way to swim. And my way to swim, well, I go up and down, but I don't actually put my head in the water. Now, I know you might think that's a bit... Oh, by the way, do you like today's... Those of you watching, do you like the shirt today? It's a little bit bright. I don't know how this is going to come out on the video. It's got little black and... It's a black and white shirt today. It's almost like a checked shirt, but it's got a bit of a pattern on it. I just pulled this out of the cover. Now, it used to be white and black, but it's more like sort of a grey black now because where it's been washed so much. I do like to have clean clothes. Thought you might... I don't know if... What do you think of this shirt? Is it all right? I was just looking back on a couple of the videos earlier on today, and I noticed that I did wear the same shirt 2 shows in a row, that green one. So I must apologise for those of you fashion experts that will have noticed such a thing. All right? Back to the swimming pool. So I carried on going up and down, light on the side of the pool now, and then I saw this bloke, right about the same age as me, I suppose, and he was at the end of the pool, in the next lane, and I saw him watching me. I thought to myself, oh, he's not going to try and talk to me, is he? And as I got to the end, he says, excuse me. So I stopped and yes, like that. No, I wasn't like that. I said, yes, mate. He said, I hope you don't mind me giving you a bit of advice. I thought, I beg your pardon. Advice? To me, Chris Reardon, international celebrity, award-winning DJ, landlord, global broadcaster, environmental conservationist, pilot, master of merriment, connector, and your fairy godmother, I thought to myself. And I says, what's that, mate? He says, when you're swimming, if you put your head in the water, you'll find that it does help you move along. I thought to myself, what a cheek. What a cheek. Why can't he just get on with his own swimming? And I didn't open a conversation with this person. You know what I mean? Telling me, a swimmer of 15 years, dear. 15 years I've been going down the swimming pool. Not that particular one, but on and off different ones. And there he is, Mr. High and Mighty, standing at the end of the pool, advising me how to do my strokes. What a cheek. Anyway, I turned around and said to him rather curtly, "Nah, I don't do that, mate," and I carried on. Didn't talk to him again. What a cheek! How dare he give me bits of advice on how to do my swimming. I mean, what's going to happen next? We'll have people writing in in the next few weeks advising me on how to read letters out and things. Oh dear. It does annoy me that sometimes. Sometimes while I'm DJing, now you know, I've been a DJ for about 26 years now. 26, and I'm booked for the next 50 years solid. Every night of the week, every hour of the day. And quite often, I'm looking around for a tissue now and I can't find one. Oh dear. Oh, because I've got to sneeze. I've only got this large tea towel. I'm going to have to use this, I think. Oh, just a minute. Oh dear. Excuse me. That's better. You quite often get people coming up to you while you're DJing. And they say, you know, people like 15 years younger sometimes. "Oh, mate, can I give you a bit of advice? If you do..." And I'm like, "Pardon?" Oh, I tell them, don't believe me. What if I'm working, DJing, or something like that, and someone comes out with something, I do tell them, "Dear, do you mind? I'm doing the job." "Oh, only I'm a DJ." "Oh, really? Where are you working tonight then?" "Oh, I don't work Thursdays." Or, "Well, I work every night. Thank you very much. Goodbye." You have to tell them, dear. God, it's a bit much, isn't it? Right, so that's the two swimming pool stories out of the way. I thought I'd better get those out of the way very quickly. Oh, by the way, I did notice shortly after dishing out that advice, this bloke did another 4 lengths, and I watched him get out of the pool like that. He was clearly someone who doesn't go swimming every day, and there he is dishing out advice. No, is it actually? You know, the correct way to swim is as you're swimming, you put your face in the water, but I don't. My little head is up, a bit like a pigeon. It goes forwards and backwards while I'm swimming like that. Yeah. But that's how I swim. Okay, I'm reasonably fit. And by the way, the fitness thing is going very well at the moment. In the last few days, I have been jogging 6 days in a row. Now, I know you're not supposed to go every day, but, you know, I've got a bit of weight at the moment. I'm about, let me think, 20, 12, 13... I'm about 5 to 6 pounds overweight at the moment, so I'm not happy with that. So I'm doing something about it. So the last few days I have jogged 6 days in a row. And also last week I went swimming Monday to Friday. Okay, so that's going very well at the moment. No problems with knees or anything like that. So quite happy with the fitness level at the moment. Now, I wish I'd bought a tissue, and I'm sure I did. Just a minute, let me see if I can find this tissue here somewhere. Can I just go out and get my tissue, and then we'll probably go on to the emails, I think. Let me just go and get a tissue, and we'll play one of these while I'm going to get it. Right, won't be a second. Stay there.
From the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire. This is Chris Reardon.
Are you there? Oh, there you are. That's it. Sorry, just blowing my nose now. Back now. Oh, sit down. Oh, there we are. Right, on to the email. Oh, just before the emails, I keep getting these chain letters. Some are quite nice, you know, the sort of thing that's... Oh, there's actually one here at the moment that I got today. Let me just read it to you. I mean, it's a pleasant enough email, to be honest. Here we are. Who sent this one? I think it was a guy called Paul. Okay, I'm not quite sure who he is. It says, "This may sound nuts, but my husband got this the other day and sent it off. About 10 minutes later, a really good financial windfall happened for his son, Sean, who had sent it to as well." Hang on a minute. "One of the people he sent it to was responsible for the windfall. And he says, 'Good luck, I hope it works. May the sun always shine on your window pane.'" What a funny thing to write. And it goes on, and it tells you nice things, and it says, but you have to send this on within 1 hour from when you open it. And the idea is you send the email on to as many people as possible, and then something nice happens. Well, it's rubbish. Nothing nice ever happens here in the Mirrorball Studios. The only nice thing that happens to me during the week is being able to talk to you, all right? So when you get these emails, delete them. They're a complete and utter waste of time. I get endless emails from liars who pretend, a dreadful thing to say, pretend that they've got cancer or some member of the family is dying. And if I contact them, because I've been their friend, they will be happy to share their money with me and all this business. It's all lies, lies, lies. Crooks. They're all crooks, boys and girls. Don't trust any of them, okay? Do not respond to them, delete, and don't pass on the emails. I mean, the nice ones, they're nice enough. You know, they're quite pleasant, like that friendship one I was just reading you there. It's a nice enough email. But, you know, you could spend half a day passing these emails round, this, that, and the other, and nothing ever nice will happen because of an email. I don't think it will anyway. You may know differently. Have you passed on one of these chain emails before? If so, and something nice has happened, let me know. There's an email address if you ever want to join into the programme. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right? First of all, thank you very much to Wayne the Butler, who is a regular listener and viewer to the programme. I think you watch as well, don't you, Wayne? Who is at the moment working in Switzerland in a lovely chalet. Do you remember I mentioned it on the last? Was it the last show or a couple of shows ago? Might have been a couple of shows ago. I can't remember. But he's working in this chalet at the moment as a manager type thing, and he is looking after people. And I think he's got staff under him as well. And this is in Switzerland. And to hire this chalet, okay, for a week, will cost you £35,000. It's a lot of money in it. Now, Wayne is actually very similar to me in his methods of work. He believes in doing a job properly. Now, I'm exactly the same. When I'm employed to do something, I will do the job to the best of my ability. Absolutely. Okay? And we were talking, actually, how a lot of companies kind of... is that light a bit bright on my face? I'm just wondering if I should turn that light out up there. There's a very bright white light on me at the moment. I'm just going to turn that off. Is that any better? I think it was kind of bleaching out a little bit. Wayne and I believe in doing a job properly. Once you give us a job, okay, you can go home and forget about it, come back the next day knowing full well it will be properly done. And interestingly, I was talking to Wayne about working for various different companies, and we've both worked for a few different places, which will remain nameless at the moment. For good reason. I can't say why. I can't spill the beans on anything. That will only ever happen if I leave certain places, you know. But yes, companies that employ people and pay them absolute peanuts, and then can't understand why, for example, they're ripped off. Why you've got staff pilfering and that sort of thing, or not turning up for work. Turning up when they feel like it, you know, and making all sorts of excuses not to turn up for work. And I've always felt one of the reasons for that is because they're so badly paid. Now, myself as a DJ and an entertainer, I'm fairly well paid for the jobs I do. I never ring in sick. I never turn up late. You know? So I think it's a lot to do with the way you treat people to how you get the work out of them at the end. And Wayne was telling me a lot of the people that he's worked with before seem to be more interested than going out and partying every night and getting drunk and then turning in late for work the next day. It's not good, is it? At the other end of the scale, you have to remember the customers. if the customer does not get a good experience of whatever it happens to be, whether they're staying in a hotel or being served a drink at a bar, if they don't get the service that they're paying for, they won't come back. And I sometimes wonder if large companies live in some sort of cloud cuckoo land. Because if you don't get the customers back, you've had it, mate. I've worked with many bar staff who are quite frankly downright rude to people. Sometimes in a noisy environment, like a club, you get someone order a drink and the barman will, or bar woman, bar girl, whatever, will get them the drink, put it on and say, name the price, and then they taste it. Say, oh no, I asked for a Coke, not a lemonade, or something. Now, at that point, if I was the barman, I would, or the manager, I would immediately apologise and change the drink. But the times I've seen barmen stand there and argue, no, you said lemonade. No, I didn't, I said Coke. Oh, but you said lemonade. And they stand there and argue. Completely the wrong customer service. Whether it was your fault or not, as the barman, apologise to that customer. And get him the drink that he ordered in the first place. But they don't. I can't remember the amount of times I've seen this sort of thing happening. And another sort of person that does that is managers or assistant managers who are more important than the customers, or they think they are. I would absolutely love to sit here and name managers or assistant managers to you now and where they work. I'd love to do that, because I can guarantee anyone that's ever come to any of the places I've worked over the last 26 years or so, if they're watching this, I know they'd email in and agree with every word. But there are absolutely people running places or helping to run places or indeed at bar staff level who think that the customers are there for them. And these people, I don't know if they ever have been trained in customer service or not. Service is so important. Let me tell you, I would never go out to some of the places that I've worked in. And it's a hard job sometimes. It's a hard job sometimes as the entertainer when you're surrounded by so many miserable staff. And you, as the entertainer, whether you're DJing or singing or doing some sort of show, you as the entertainer have to smile. It sometimes feels like it's all on your shoulders. It's very, very difficult. Fortunately, at this present moment in time, I'm working with fairly good staff in virtually all the places that I work. But still, I do see the attitude from staff towards customers sometimes. And if I was the manager, I'd pull them straight aside and have a word, a strong word. Listen, you are there to serve the customers, not the other way round. And Wayne and I just agree so wholeheartedly like that. And he's been recently working with some people who just don't care. They're just not bothered. They do the littlest amount that they can get away with. On the other hand, the company that they are working for pays them absolute peanuts. So what do you expect? But these large companies, they're so short-sighted. If only they'd pay a little bit more, take a little bit less profit at the top, And the answer to that is, why should I take less profit? And I've had that before. I've had conversations with managers about this sort of thing. And I said, well, why can't you give... Why should I give them any of my money? That's the attitude. Me all the time. Got to look at the wider aspect, and that's why the world is going so wrong at the moment. Any comments on that? As always, the email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, as I say, Wayne's in Switzerland at the moment, and he sent me some beautiful pictures because they've got a lot of snow where he is at the moment, of him walking through the mountains. He's bought 2 walking sticks. I can't remember what he called them now. They were 2 specific sticks that he's bought for walking in snow. So he's bought a couple of those, and he sent me some lovely pictures of a frozen lake there, and a beautiful little stream that is meandering through the snow. Oh, fantastic pictures. So, Wayne, if you're watching, you're having a really nice time out there. Okay, I know you are actually working hard, and of course having a nice time as well. Now, let's do some emails then. Hi, first of all, to, and I think we got one over here actually, that I didn't take off the printer. Where is it now? There we are. Ryan. Hello, Ryan. Ryan's a young lad. I think he's 17. He's up to north, aren't you? He says, hi Chris, just a little email to know I'm still listening to your show and I enjoy it very much. I wanted to ask you some advice on DJing at a pub on a Friday night and how the music should be. Well, it depends who's in there, really. Have a look around. How old are they? Are they your age? If so, you'll probably know roughly what to play. My guess is that you've got a fairly mixed bag of people in there, so mix the music up a bit. Bit of R&B, bit of pop, and always start off the night in a pub or even a club. Don't have the music too loud, so that as people come in, you've got a bit of background, almost background music on. And I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting away. I can't get comfortable. Let me just move over a little bit. There we are. I'm going to move over a bit because I'm a bit too close to the desk and I'm banging up against the desk here. That's it. What was I saying now? Oh yes. Beginning of the night, don't have the music too loud. Fairly soft. Allowing people to talk, that sort of thing. And as the night goes on, just turn it up gradually. But go and try and talk to the customers. Okay? Just go and put a long record on and walk around. Hello, I'm Ryan, the DJ tonight. Not perhaps like that. Don't look too mad. Although I do. I look quite mad when I'm walking around sometimes. But talk to the people. Walk around. Hello, I'm Ryan, the DJ. Have you got any requests? I'm not quite sure what to play. And see what they want. Just ask them. Or if you use them, I don't know if you use the microphone or not, Ryan. Introduce yourself. Hello, I'm Ryan, the DJ. I'm playing requests tonight. If you've got any requests, come up and see me. I guarantee someone will come up and say something to whatever they want, okay? But mix it up. Not too heavy. Stick to the commercial stuff that's in the charts. One of the mistakes a lot of young new DJs make is that they think they should fill up the entire evening with music that no one's ever heard. Brand new stuff. Not good, okay? Stick to stuff that they know, especially if you're just starting out. Just play the music they know. And Ryan says, also, can you tell me about your good and bad experiences with managers, as I feel the manager of this one venue I want to DJ at isn't interested in me, and I would really love to DJ to people, not just on the radio like I am now, because he does an internet radio show. Thanks very much from Ryan. Managers, yeah, good and bad experiences. Let me think. Lots of good experiences, really. The best managers are those that employ you for what you do and then leave you alone. Now, I work at several places like that at the moment. Okay, where I turn in, I get there always on time. Maybe not really early. I only need to get somewhere 5 minutes before I'm due to start. That's bags enough time to set up and start. And you do your stuff, and then you finish, you go home, you get your wages, and then that's it. Hopefully people will talk to you throughout the night as well. Always be trying to talk and make friends with customers. Remember, you are there for them, not the other way around, okay? Keep them entertained. Play them what they want, within reason, obviously. You know, if you're doing a 70s and 80s night and someone comes and asks you for some heavy R&B, then the answer is no. I'm sorry, it's a 70s and 80s night. But don't just say no. Say to them, oh, I'm really sorry, it's a 70s and 80s night. Would you like something from there? Or maybe if it's in your head, try and suggest something. So if they've just come and asked for some, have you got any R&B? So no, I've got some soul for you. I've got some Luther Vandross. Try and think of something quickly that has always been really popular, almost giving them the answer that you're asking the question to. And that should help you along there, all right? Bad managers, there's not been that many. Let me think, 1, 2, 3, maybe? 3, out of all those years, 3 or 4, not many. And there's been loads. I mean, loads. It's in the tens. Quite a few different managers I've worked for. Managers bad or good managers at the moment? No, you're not. I can't say that, can I? I will never be able to tell you if I've got what I think is a bad or good manager until I leave. Now, you're probably wondering now, well, why don't I just tell you the good ones? Because I work for a lot of people at the moment, okay? So if there was a list of 7 different managers and I gave you the 6 good ones, then the bad one would work out who it was. Well, when I say bad in my opinion, if you talk to them, of course they all answer you the same question, that they're the best manager in the world. To me, a good manager to me is someone that looks after all aspects of the business. The staff, the customers, the building, and the money, of course. If you only, I knew a really, really, really nice manager who I worked with for only a short period of time, and he was fantastic at front of house. He'd be there at the end of the bar, drinking with the customers and generally having a laugh and being really nice to the staff. He was a lovely, lovely man. But his office was diabolical. You'd go in and get your wages, and you'd go into this room and there would be piles of banknotes and bits of written notes, coins piled up on the floor, and he said, oh, come in, and you tiptoe through this mess on the floor, and it was just diabolical. But he was a lovely bloke. Not really a good manager, I don't think, because he didn't look after the office. And there were other managers who just look after the money side of things. Their one goal in life is just to take, it would seem. That's not good either. A good manager to me looks after all aspects of the business. I don't know what you think. If you think differently, email in. You don't have to agree with things all the time. If you feel differently, please email in, okay? The email address, as always, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, all right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Always happy to read out emails and things. Hello to, look who it is, it's Gemma. Hello, Gemma. All right, my darling. We've got a couple of old emails here. Gemma says, hi, Chris. How are things? They are well, thank you very much, darling. I'm quite happy. Getting a few more. There's a lot of venues at the moment. I say a lot. 1, 2, 3 venues at the moment that want me to do bingo. And I'm not quite sure what to do. It's difficult because I'd like to expand the Bingay to other places. But at the moment, I'm full up, except on the Wednesday, and there's plenty of people asking for the Wednesday as well. I feel very fortunate and very lucky that people still want me to go and do DJing and different things for them. And a couple of places want me to do Bingay and karaoke and DJ. All those things. And at the moment, I've got no gaps free at all in my diary, so not quite sure. Of course, you know, I could leave one place to go to another, which may happen, to be honest. That may happen, so I haven't decided yet. It's difficult. It's difficult when things are sort of working reasonably well and new things come along to do. It's difficult to know what to do. Do you take the risk of doing something new? On the other hand, I quite like a challenge. I like to see a night build sometimes. You know, you start with nothing and gradually, over the months, more people come if they like it. Doesn't always work. Doesn't always work. I've done things that have failed before. Now, I do work in Brighton on a Friday at a little place that it's not the sort of place that you could invite a family to go to. Like, the only places I usually mention to you on this show are places that you could take your mother to. Like, say, for example, the Golden Lion. You could quite happily take your mum to the Golden Lion and have a bit of a laugh there with me and the rest of the audience in there on Mondays or Tuesdays. That's the, I'll tell you where it is, the Golden Lion in Britannia Street, King's Cross in London, Mondays, 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. We do Bingay on Monday. There's a website for that, bingay.com, and karaoke on Tuesday, both 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. But there are other places that I do work at and I do enjoy, but I don't feel you could bring a family or your mother there, you know? Anyway, I do work at a place on Friday where I've been for a year, and that works very well. But I did work in Brighton at the end of the 90s. I think it was 1999, for about 2 years. We worked at this place called Paul, which has since had a name change. I don't know how well it does in there now. But for about a year and a half, we slogged away at this, and it never worked. It was just dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. And part of the reason, I believe, was the layout of the venue, because it was a great big room and the DJ box was up a load of stairs right at the top there, and that's completely wrong because you're completely separated from the crowd. You see, I like to be on the same level as the crowd. You are part of them, not better than them. You are part of the crowd. You can go maybe 1 or 2 steps up, I suppose. But ideally, you're on the level. And the place I'm at now in Brighton, and also in King's Cross, all the let me think. Yeah, all the places I work at the moment, except the one in Clapham, you are on the same level as the customers. Even the one in Clapham, you're not too far up. But when you put the DJ right up there, I mean, we're not, you know, it's silly. You want to be part of the crowd. Where's Gemma now? Oh, here. Hi, Chris. Hi, things. I must thank you for redirecting Wayne's message. Yes, Wayne, Anonymous, sent a little email to Gemma because she was talking about her breakup. And it was a very nice email from Wayne, so thanks for that. Gemma says, as Suko says, you are a connector, connecting people together. Yes. His words, as well as yours, were of great help to me. I'm now over the whole thing. Thank God I get over things quickly. Yes, always the best ways, Gemma, all right? And enjoying myself again with my friends and work. There's a holiday coming soon. In Spain, schools have a 10-day Easter holiday, which is now, isn't it, actually? You're being your holiday now. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been so busy lately that I haven't had time for myself, friends and family. And I feel as if I'm lacking of something. Well, yeah. I mean, you shouldn't just work all the time, really. I mean, hark at me, I'm one to talk, aren't I? I shouldn't really work. Can I just, I'm just going to do something with this, do I need to do something over there? Sorry, just let me see what I'm doing here. No, I think that's all right. Okay, ignore what I was saying there, sorry. Chatting away about nothing as usual. Won't be the first time, will it? Let's face it. I listened to one of your last shows that Suko's friends will go to London in April. I think it's next week or the week after, I think. And they were planning to visit Bath and Stonehenge. Now, well, here's my advice. Now, this is coming from Gema in Spain, okay? So something coming from a foreign perspective here might actually help you. What was the name of the person who's visiting? Betty and her family, isn't it? Betty. You can visit Bath in one day, spend the night there, and go to Stonehenge the following day. I've been to Bath a couple of times, and I think you can see the most important things of the city in a day or two. I especially like the Roman baths, and this is a must for people who are not from European countries or from countries where the Romans didn't have direct influence. Once in Bath, it's easy to hire an organised trip to Stonehenge. There are lots of agencies advertising the trip, as this is a common destination for tourists visiting Bath. There are also organised trips to Stratford-upon-Avon, which is Shakespeare's hometown, or rather village. And it takes less time from Bath than from London. I haven't been there, but I've been told it's very small and too touristy, although I'm sure it's worth a visit. London is a universe, London is a universe in itself, and as your friend Wayne the Butler said, internet offers a wide range of opportunities when it comes to booking. I really must say that as a foreigner, I have found lots of clear information about absolutely everything, and this is something awesome. Not all the countries are so well organised and reliable tourist information. Congratulations on that. Well, thank you very much, Gemma. Nothing to do with me, of course. I just sit here and chat. Before I say goodbye, I'd like to say something about countries and national feelings. Please don't let ideas spoil what history has built for you. And when I say history, I mean the lives of people that preceded you. Your ancestors had to go through many wars, pains and sufferings in order to achieve the nation you have today. I know there were mistakes, domination, bloodshed, etc. But it doesn't do any good to go back to the past. I think this is what a man from Scotland was saying on the last show, wasn't he? Do you remember? We have many sad examples of this nationalistic feelings in Spain, and they only lead to one thing: violence. I'm not saying that one shouldn't be proud of belonging to a particular region or area. This is good, very good. We all need to have a sense of belonging. So there we are, and I agree. I like to be part of Europe, myself personally, but I want to be known as British, or even English. I prefer British. I said on the last show, I like the idea of England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales all together. We are British together. We don't want to separate. Some people would say, oh, you say that because of the oil, or you say that because of the mountains of Wales. No. I say that because I think we like to be one happy family. We are British. Gemma says, for the last one, I am the one you met, Gemma, not Monica, you cheeky monkey. Bye for now from Gemma. And she put in brackets, the one you met. I know, I remember, Gemma. I get confused with names, dear. Apologies. Sorry, my dear. All right. Thank you, Gemma. Where are we going to now? I've got confused with my lists here. There we are. Hello to Julian from Argentina. Are you here, Julian? Julian is moving to the UK soon from Argentina. And he says, I totally agree with your comments on TV journalists. They are just like puppets. In fact, one TV channel in Argentina has 2 puppets that read out some news. They don't, do they? Puppets reading the news. Whatever next. Do you know, it's got very dark in here suddenly. I'm going to have to turn the other light on now. 1 minute. Let me turn the light on. Maybe I should just turn the light on at the beginning of the show and be done with it, I think. Let's see. The puppets' names are Carozo and Narizota, two popular puppets that hosted a TV show for children in the 70s and 80s. Children, yes, we had something like that here down in the southwest on Westwood Television. Now, what was this puppet's name? Anyone from Cornwall? Gus Honeybun, it was. That was, but must have been about 30 or 40 years ago. Gus Honeybun, and children would write letters to this puppet and would read them out. It was a rabbit, as far as I remember. Westwood Television, it's not on anymore. Children could send a letter to the show and they would choose one at random each week. Then the puppets would go to the child's house in the afternoon to drink cocoa and eat cookies. Kids usually invited all their friends home for the event, which was, of course, aired a couple of days later. Now, 25 years later, they're back as TV journalists. And he sends a picture of the two puppets from the 70s, and one of them giving news on Chronica TV a couple of years ago. Two puppets there. Reading the news on Argentinian television. I love it. Thanks, Julian. Where are we? Let me see. That's it. Hello to Roberts in Iceland. How are you, sir? And he's saying, on the subject of the earthquake that we had here in the UK a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Chris. Did the earth move for you? No, it didn't, because I was driving home at the time. Didn't notice a thing. It was very disappointing, really. I was listening to the radio, and it was all coming on the radio that there was this earthquake in progress. I didn't feel a damn thing. Never mind. He says, well, as you may recall, I live in Iceland, all but a stone's throw from the geological fracture in the earth called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's why we have hot springs all over the place, and of course we tap the springs to heat our homes and drive our power stations. Fantastic, all that free water coming up. The world-famous Blue Lagoon is to be found on this ridge. Do you remember that film, The Blue Lagoon? Oh, wasn't that beautiful? Nothing to do with where you are, I'm sure, but there we are. We here in the in the northern part of Iceland have our own version. However, in our version, it is fresh water and not seawater, as in the case with the Blue Lagoon. I can well recommend its healing properties for everything from skin problems to arthritis. But back to, did the earth move? Well, I have experienced 3 earthquakes while being here, and on 2 occasions I have felt them. Well, that must be terrifying, that. Sort of sitting there and suddenly everything starts shaking all around you. When I did feel the earthquake, I was sitting down. Now, I know this might sound crazy, but I have heard it from others that also, if you are sitting down, you are more sensitive to feeling the effects of an earthquake. I also recall being in Los Angeles and feeling a slight shaking which did not even raise an eyebrow on my friend's face. And did the earth move for her? Well, that relationship failed and she became a nun. Enough said. Bob. And Bob also writes to say, Dear Chris, he who must be obeyed. Oh, you're having a laugh, aren't you? No one ever does what I ask them to do. Not even men who come round here and fix things, dear. It's all a bit off, dear. I should like to tender for the post of Village Idiot. This is an application for employment at the new, soon-to-become Reardon City or Reardon Town. And Bob the Viking wants to tender for the post of Village Idiot. I feel well suited to this post, as I have worked for many Mickey Mouse companies over the years. Haven't we all, dear? Or, if that post is taken, then how about considering my application for pilot? Because he does have a licence. Yes, we need a pilot, because we will need to go out of the city now and again. We'll need a pilot or ski instructor. Well, we might not need a ski instructor, because I think it's going to be very unlikely that when we buy Reardon Town and all move in there, it's not going to be a cold place. We don't like the cold. I'm sorry, Robert. It's going to have to be somewhere fairly warm and nice, all right? Oh, off to après-ski for a little snifter and a few beers before getting ready to fly. No, we're not doing skiing. We're not doing skiing, dear. Conversation with cabin crew, right? Conversation with cabin crew. Oh, where the heck did I park this thingy with wings on? Hiccup, that's hiccups. Darn it, come on guys, stop messing around and tell me where the hell you've put our plane. And just for the record, I did not find it funny to find someone had painted a smiley face on the nose of the plane. And while I am on the subject, will you all please stop swaying around and who painted front and back on the sides of the plane? Also, it does not look good for our passengers to see us all fighting over the parachutes. You at the back there, if I see you trying to sell lucky rabbit feet to the passengers with the line, hey, this guy in command with you says you were going to need this. One more time, well... And that's from Bob the Viking. Thank you, Bob. We will need a pilot. I'll mark you down for the position of pilot, okay? Where are we doing on time? We're nearly out of time. And we are nearly out of time. We are indeed. Now, on the next show, I've got a lovely letter here, or an essay from Jade, who is Suko's young daughter. I can't remember how old she is now. Very early. I think she's about 12, 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. And Suko, as you know, writes a lot of emails to the show, don't you, Suko? And thank you very much for those. Well, her daughter has written a lovely thing about people she admires. They had to choose at her school someone that they admire, and she's written it, and I'll read that on the next show, along with Sam's email and a little bit from my friend Anthony as well. Okay, time for me to go. Thank you very much for listening or indeed watching the show today. The email address, please join in at any time, is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.